So good day everyone. So today we are going to discuss the history of futsal, the rules of futsal, the futsal position, and last is the difference of soccer and futsal. And now first is futsal. Futsal, the term futsal is the international term used for the game. It is derived from the Spanish or Portuguese word for soccer, futsal, also known as futsal or futsal, is a football game played on a hard court smaller than a football pitch, and mainly indoors. It is similarities to five-a-side football. Futsal is played between two teams of five players, each one of whom is the goalkeeper. Futsal started in 1930 when Juan Carlos Siriani, a teacher in Montevideo, Uruguay, created a version of indoor football for recreation in YMCA's. The new sport was originally developed for playing on a basketball courts, and the rule book was published in September 1933. Football was already high popular in the country, and after Uruguay won the 1930 World Cup and gold medals in the 1924 and 1928 Summer Olympics, it attracted even more practitioners. Siriani's goal was to create a theme game that could be played indoor or outdoor, but that was similar to football. Yes. At mamaya, malalaman natin ang pagkakaiba ng soccer and the futsal. So, the term futsal is the international term used for the game. It is derived from the Spanish-Portuguese word for soccer. Yes, yan yung topic natin kanina. And Siriani's writing the rule book took as examples the principle of football, the possibility to touch the ball with every part of the body except for the hands, and he took rules from the other sports too. From basketball, the number of team players 5 and the game duration 40 actual minutes. Yes, no? May pagkakapareho ang basketball and the futsal in terms of the players, no? 5 players versus the 5 players. However, the soccer is different from the futsal. So, i-discuss natin yan later on. So, the number of team players is 5 and the game duration is 40 actual minutes. From water polo, the rules about the goalkeeper. From the theme handball for the field and goal sizes. So don't worry that later on we're going to discuss the rules of futsal. The YMCA spread that game immediately throughout South America. It was easily played by everyone, everywhere, and in any weather condition, without any difficulty, helping players to stay in a shape all year around. These reasons convinced João Lutufo, a Brazilian, to bring this game to his country and adapt it to the needs of physical education. The YMCA spread the game immediately throughout South America. It was easily played everyone, everywhere, and in any weather condition, without any difficulty, helping players to stay in a shape all year round. This reason convinced João Lutufo, a Brazilian, to bring the game to his country and adapt it to the needs of physical education. So, the sport began to spread across South America, and its popularity ensured that the formation of governing body in Sao Paulo in 1971. Under the name of Federation International de Football de Salon FIFUSA. The FIFUSA initially comprised Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, Peru, Portugal, and Uruguay, along with the World Championships. The new institution counted 32 participating countries, and its first president was João, heavily joined by the secretary Luis Gonzaga de Oliveira. In 1975, the federation chief passed to FIFA, and 1980, Juanirio de Alessio Neto was elected to work to make this sport recognized worldwide by supranational bodies. Therefore, the first FIFUSA World Championship were held in Sao Paulo, Brazil in 1982, with the hosting Brazilian with crowned champions against Paraguay in front of audience of 12,000 people, with Uruguay placing third. Now, the federation then began to work to bring the big event to Europe. In 1985, the second Futsal World Cup was organized in Madrid, Spain, where the Brazilian team won again. No, nanalo ang ating the organized in Spain, where the Brazilian won. The event was a success with a considerable media interest and huge response from the audience, thanks to the Spanish TV station that filmed the events. No? Therefore, they acknowledge the Spanish TV where doon tayo napanood ng labang the Brazil against the Spain. So, score is the 3-1. In 1985, Joseph Blatter, at the time Secretary of Football's governing body, FIFA thought it was the right time to enlarge its influence and therefore also deal with indoor football. Knowing that the Federation President Joao Havelange was the head of FIFUSA from 1971 to 1974. The Swiss decided to assume in Brazil that the world governing body of futsal. Surprisingly, the Congress voted against the unification. Due to dispute between FIFA and FIFUSA over the name of football, FIFUSA registered the word futsal in 1985, Madrid or Spain. FIFUSA wanted to promote and spread its own version of indoor football different from the original one played in South American countries, but they could not manage to come to an agreement with FIFUSA in Rio de Janeiro Congress 1989. However, on May 2, 1990, the Brazilian Federation finally broke away from the FIFUSA, and on 25th of September, an event in Bogota, Colombia contributed to the founding at the Confederación Panamericana de Fútbol de Salón, or PANA Futsal, together with Paraguay, Colombia, Mexico, Uruguay, Argentina, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, Bolivia, Ecuador, the Netherlands, and Hills, how to pronounce that one, Aruba, and Canada. The conference held in Guatemala in 2000 between members of PANA Futsal and FIFA focused on the resolution of dispute between the two institutions on the achievement of futsal in the pure version that excited many South America. The signing of protocol, however, was not followed by concrete action. FIFA kept on promoting its version of futsal, so that concrete action FIFA kept on promoting, yes, as what I said a while ago, promoting its version of futsal. In December 2002, the Association Mondial de Futsal, or AMF, was founded. It is currently composed of 40 federation and 3 continental bodies, one which was FIFS. Therefore, let's proceed to the rules of futsal. Rules, so there are 5 players versus the 5 players. As what I said a while ago, that the basketball and the futsal they have the similarities kapag the same players, no, 5 players and against the 5 players. One which will be goalkeeper. It is expected. However, no, yung ikalima ng futsal is the goalkeeper. No. It is expected that each player will have to take a turn being a goalkeeper. Yes. As futsal coaches will organize this. The subs on the fly like hockey. No offsides. No goalkeeper punts. Ball must stay below head height. Otherwise, possession and free kick will be awarded for the opposing team. No slide tackles. Player must not go to ground to steal possession back. No throw-ins from the sidelines, instead ball is placed on ground and passed into the teammate with the foot. Free kicks and corners, the opposing team has to be minimum of 5 yards away from the ball. The last is with a penalty kick, all players behind the ball except for the penalty kicker. So that is the rules of futsal. Initially, the rules were not uniform. In 1956, the rules were modified by Habib Mahfouz and Luis Gonzaga de Oliveira Fernandez. Oliveira wrote the Book of Rules of Futsal in 1956, then adopted also at the international level. In 1965, the Confederación Sudamericana de Fútbol de Salón South America Futsal Confederation was formed, consisting of Uruguay, Paraguay, Peru, Argentina, and Brazil. Shortly after a unique tournament was organized, it attracted some interest in South American media, which regularly began to follow futsal. In particular, it was the journalist Jose Antonio Ingles who passionately contributed the rapid spread of the game, as well as being credited as the man who coined the name futsal to define the sport. Since we're done the rules of futsal, so let's proceed to the futsal position. Futsal position, first, goalkeeper or keeper. A very important position that goalkeeper plays a vital role in determining the final score. It is often the friend who can turn, run, or it is injured but can still help the team. Having a gun in goals will almost guarantee success at the end of the season and come finals time. So next is the fixo or fixed defender. Most often the captain and or the team manager of the side, the one who puts in the most effort both on and off the court, the last ditch attempts in defense to not allow the opposition to score, and the one who helps out the goalkeeper behind the most. A top shelf fixo has the team in front, well structured and organized. However, we have also the ala or the left and right winger. The wingers are one on the left and one on the right. These time players are two workhorses in the team. Usually, the fittest two players are designated the role of winger, and the idea of helping attack and also getting back to help defend. Fitness is a key requirement the higher the level. The last is the pivot or target, a goal scorer, the one who holds up play, the friend with the strongest shot, the star who attacks more than the defense, the teammate who gets the call up each week, the one everyone looks to for goals. So since we're done about the futsal, the rules, the futsal position, so the last, dito na natin malalaman ang pagkakaiba ng soccer and futsal. So let's proceed to the difference of soccer and futsal. The difference of soccer and futsal, soccer is normally played as an outdoor game on large field. No? Kung mapapansin natin, ang soccer ay nilalaro siya si outdoor, no? Rain or shine, no? Mapapansin natin may nakikita tayong mga naglalaro sa outdoor na soccer. So the difference between soccer is also, whereas the futsal is type of soccer that is played indoors on much smaller court. There are 11 players for each team in the game of soccer. Now, kung napapansin natin, ang futsal ay we have the only 5 players. However, soccer played, there are 11 players for each team in a game. No. So soccer is normally, again, the soccer is normally played as an outdoor game on large fields, whereas futsal is type of soccer that is played indoors on much smaller court. So the soccer outdoor game, the futsal is the indoor game. No, yung mga soccer is any field, soccer sila sa field. However, the futsal is the indoor sa mga courts, ganyan. On much smaller court, there are 11 players for each team in the game of soccer. While futsal is played with 5 players on the court, there are 3 substitutions allowed in a game of soccer, whereas there are unlimited substitutions in futsal. So I think diyan lang po nagtatapos ang aking discussion about the history of futsal, the rules of futsal, the futsal position, the difference of soccer and futsal.